What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to C-Roll Productions. Boy, oh boy, do I sense some turmoil. There has to be something going on behind the scenes over at DC Studios with Andy Muschietti, James Gunn, and Matt Reeves. It's the Batman complex. It's the idea of trying to do two versions of Batman at the same time. Completely different universes, two different actors. This problem will always be a problem. Now, I get it. James Gunn has come out stating, Elseworlds, things he wants to do for his DC universe, understandably. Andy Muschietti, the director of Batman Brave and the Bold, he's coming out stating all these different stuff about the film that he is currently not even working on. He stated that he's going to be doing another project before they start working on Batman Brave and the Bold. Matt Reeves gives his updates on, the Batman Part 2. It's been delayed till October 1st, 2027. He's come out stated that they start shooting the Batman Part 2 this year. And then you have Andy Muschietti, who comes out, randomly starts stating, our Batman's going to be different from what Matt Reeves is doing. It's not going to be Robert Pattinson. He literally said that. But then Matt Reeves is kind of giving you these subliminal messages, take it as what, read it for face value. I am just so confused. And Andy Muschietti came out and stated today, you guys, that he hasn't even spoken to James Gunn since the beginning of the shooting for Superman. That was like damn near 2 years ago. I'm getting all these conflicting reports from this, the circle of Matt Reeves, Andy Muschietti, and James Gunn. It is so confusing. I'm like, what is happening with Batman Brave and the Bold and the Batman Part 2? Is Robert Pattinson's Batman going to, eventually cross over into the DCU? Who knows? It's just so confusing. And that's why I always said, you can't have two live action Batmans running at the same time. You're going to confuse the general audience who is not on the level of, the nerd fandom that, is so heavily involved in the DCU. They're going to be like, well, Robert Pattinson's Batman. Why is this actor Batman? What's going on? Did he get recast? You're going to have those conflicting issues. It just doesn't make any sense. So let's read through some of these articles, because this shit is just absolutely just mind-boggling to me. So Andy Muschietti gives a status on Batman Brave and the Bold. There are good intentions for now. The studio wants to do the film with me, and I want to do it as well. We're talking about ideas and the story and tone. That's what he stated, right? But then he states, Andy Muschietti states that he hasn't had any conversation with James Gunn before Superman was shot. So how are you talking about the story for Batman Brave and the Bold if you're not talking to the lead guy who is literally putting all the pieces of the puzzle together for the DCU? I have a feeling that Andy Muschietti is going to be out as the director of Batman Brave and the Bold. I don't think Batman Brave and the Bold is going to happen. Just like how he stated that, Batman Brave and the Bold has been delayed or postponed. And then James Gunn came out and said, I don't know where you guys are hearing this. Batman Brave and the Bold hasn't been delayed. It hasn't been postponed. They're not on the same table right now. And it's so frustrating. It seems like whatever with, Matt Reeves is dealing with personally, he is in direct communication with James Gunn. It seems like they're engaging. They're talking. But Andy Muschietti is on this other island just coming up with a whole bunch of nonsense because he hasn't spoken to James Gunn before Superman was shot. It just doesn't make any sense at all. I'm trying to put all this stuff together, and I'm just like, what is going on here? This makes no sense at all. Like, this is what Matt Reeves had to say about the possibility of Robert Pattinson's Batman joining the DCU. He said it really comes down to whether or not it makes sense. What the future brings, I can't really tell you. We'll have to see where that goes. If it was a no, it would have been a no. Period, point blank. Keep it simple. But the fact that he said it really comes down to whether or not, it makes sense. But then you have Andy Muschietti on the other hand saying, no, my Batman film is going to be a completely different Batman. The fact that you haven't spoken to James Gunn in damn near almost 2 years, and you still thinking certain things are going to be happening with your Batman film and, your Batman universe, you're clearly outdated with your sources, with your information. Whoever he's talking to at Warner Brothers, they really need to get their information right. Because they're not all at the same table right now. It seems like Andy Muschietti is so out of contact with this film, with the universe. I don't think he's going to be directing the Batman Brave and the Bold. Honest to God, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, I think he's an incredibly well-talented director. But the fact that he keeps stating all this different information about his film without even talking to the CEO of DC Studios has me really scratching my head like, what? And usually James Gunn comes out and debunks whatever kind of source, whatever kind of, information or news that comes out evolving around his studio. He's been quiet. So maybe, like I said, there is some turmoil. Maybe James Gunn and Matt Reeves know what to do exactly with Batman Brave and the Bold and the Batman Part 2. They're like, look, we can't have two different universes going at once. We've given it some thought. It's been a year. We need to transition this Batman over. And that's why I don't think Andy Muschietti is going to be directing. I don't. Now, we have the Clayface project that is going to be in development this year by Mike Flanagan. It's set in the DCU. As of right now, Pattinson's Batman is still set in his Elseworld story. So maybe Robert Pattinson's Batman does show up in a Clayface project. It only makes sense, right? Maybe as a silhouette or something like they did with, Creature Commandos. Completely fine with that. Or, your rumored, Bane and Deathstroke film. Maybe Batman shows up in that. It's so weird to me, and you really have to put it in perspective. The Batman Part 2 comes out 2027. They don't have an actor right now that we know of attached to Batman Brave and the Bold. There was no script. They probably won't start shooting that realistically 2026. So that means Batman Brave and the Bold probably won't come out till latest 2028. So that's not even 2 years apart. It's just so everywhere. Like I just want, excuse me, I'm still sick, you guys. I just want, all this confirmation to what's happening with Batman within the DCU to be resolved. Now, maybe James Gunn is waiting for it, and he wants it to be a big surprise. Rightfully so. Not everything has to come out. I would love to be surprised and see, Robert Pattinson's Batman show up in, a DCU project or at the end of Superman. That would be absolutely crazy. The fan base, I'm telling you guys, internet would go mind-boggling. It's just a little confusing from a fan's perspective. This felt like a rant. It really did feel like a rant, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this whole Andy Muschietti and James Gunn and, Matt Reeves with these conflicting reports, films being delayed, directors saying certain things that aren't true. I honestly, I want to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Do you guys feel like there is some turmoil behind the scenes right now? And the fact that Andy Muschietti hasn't even spoken to James Gunn in damn near a year and a half? Post your comments down below. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching C-Roll Productions. Peace.